Welcome everybody. So I actually figured out last stream I was struggling with figuring out the direction that the player was dashing in, and I realized right after stream, or right after I ended the stream out of frustration and kind of took a break, that I just needed to use the input vector right here instead of trying to do some crazy math with this movement vector. So I shouldn't even be using this movement vector, and I'll probably just save the in my player controller. I'm already accessing these, so I'll probably make a new vector 3 that's just saying input vector. But let me just show you guys the outcome of that. So and any direction I go in, it shows the correct like wind particle effect. I also noticed that like when I'm going sideways, like Jett, her sideways particles are a little they take up more of your screen, so like instead of having one hand it'd be like this or something, you know, and so make it I think I'm just gonna need to move it closer, so I guess we can start by doing that. Another thing is Jett, like if you are always going diagonal, I think that's fine. And then I was thinking of just like building more how do I change? Okay, here we go. That was weird. The particles didn't show up that time. Okay. Yeah, that works. So I was thinking of just setting up more obstacles so we can like not like when I'm facing away from them, it's really hard to tell what's going on because there's no perspective. So I'll probably just start by doing that. Yeah, so let me just open up. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna start off by cleaning some of this up. It's crazy how long I was just trying to, you know, I guess that's what happens. I had, you know, I'm a programmer professionally, so you're programming all day and then your brain is kind of fried and it's hard to solve problems and you overthink things and stuff like that when you're in that state of mind. So taking a break really helped. So in the player controller, I'm gonna create a new variable just like all of these guys, and just call it system. If you guys see me making typos, it's because I'm using a keyboard that I haven't used in a while, like ever since I started working from home. So, and I just picked it up. So it's the Ergodox, so it's a split keyboard, and I used to be my default keyboard, but I've been using just a regular keyboard for the past couple of months, so my brain needs to wrap my head around this keyboard now. But anyways, so input vector, and then I'm just gonna move this guy above the movement vector, and then let's move down. Okay, so where we get the float X and the float Z, we can just say input vector. Actually, why don't we just initialize so we don't have to keep creating a new one. Let's just say vector 3. I don't know how much it really matters in C Sharp to do this. I think, okay. And then, so, then we say input vector dot x equals, well, why don't we just, instead of creating these, just say input vector dot x and input vector dot z. Okay, and so we have these guys and just input vector, and then wherever we have, obviously we have to change whatever. So input vector. Okay, and now we have that updating, and so we don't need to do this. We can just say I'll just do input vector equals player, or actually let me what was that, F10 or something? Oh, whoops, not do. Nope, I don't want to build this. What was the button to F2? And I'll call it input vector. Nope, that's weird. Input vector, enter, and then let's set this to player controller. That input vector. Okay, that's much cleaner in my opinion. Just because we're kind of having a uniform input system and we're listening to that. Like, if for any reason we changed how we did input and movement, it would be updated in this class. Because the player controller is the only one who has, other than maybe player weapon, who has kind of knowledge about how input is handled. Actually, it's trying to shoot, yeah. I guess this class is also, so I don't see any reason to refactor this to make it a little more strict right now, so I think it's fine. Oh, also here, I hate how I get warnings all the time. Like in Unity, I'll get a bunch of warnings for default value is null. So what I'm going to do is just set these equal to, I think it's default. Okay. So default, I think is a, yeah. And so it should just, is it default? It should just get rid of those warnings. It just sucks that, I don't know why that's a problem, or if it serves any purpose. I don't think it does. Okay. So now let's test out what we just did. Make sure we didn't break anything. Okay. And I turn around, doing that sideways, sideways. Okay. Next thing that we're gonna do is go into our player game object. Let's rename this to dash particles container. Particles container. And then I'm just gonna move the right and left dash a little closer. So I'm just gonna and then let's see, what does it look like? So it's a little closer to the screen, and honestly maybe move them down a little. Okay. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, like that looks a lot more like Jett, because it takes up more of the screen. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with these dash particles. Like, they don't look too bad, and I thought randomization was just gonna be really manual. Like before, I was creating these game objects and added these the trail renderer or whatever component it is onto them. The only thing is that it was not coming past my face, or it was trailing along with my player. So I was trying to overcomplicate things when Unity's particle system can do stuff like this easily. So that's cool. Cool. Okay, so let's apply this, and okay, applied, And then I'm just gonna commit this in Git so I don't lose anything. So let's see. Documents. What? Oh. Tutorial research. Yeah, this project is called tutorial research because I'm planning to do tutorials for this. I'm planning to make like a general video that's like I made Jett in Unity, but also I do want to teach people because I think it's good to. Jett is such a simple character to make, other than maybe her smoke, which I don't really. I have to figure out how to do that. Most of her abilities are just changing numbers, right? Like movement speed or gravity values or whatever. Okay, so just Jett controller and dash. Yeah. Also, I need to work on the next tutorial episode, which is just gonna be this crouch. It also like glitches a little, or not glitches, but it riggedy when you're coming up because of the way we do gravity. I was wondering what happens. Okay, let's go into our player controller. Let's go to handle crouch. What happens when handle crouch, handle stand, and in stand we just change gravity to something like sets that gravity equals 9.8 or something like this, right? Like negative 9.8, because right now it's pretty high. I wonder if that's why. It's because of our gravity, like we're applying gravity. And then if I jump, yeah, it's a lot more floaty. But it looks like it's still riggedy. So what if I go? I wonder if. Oops. I wonder if this makes anything better. Nah, it doesn't make anything better. So that's fine. It's just an idea to see if I applied less force. Then okay. So what was the next thing that we were gonna work on? We could start trying to figure out we could either continue working on like do Jett's lift ability or whatever, or we could like right now when you fire the gun, like you have infinite ammo and it just keeps going through the recoil pattern. So there's a couple things that we can do. I was also thinking like it'd be kind of cool if I turn this into a little multiplayer game and everyone is just Jett. Or it's just like 1v1 or something and it's like Jett v Jett. It'd be neat. But I don't think I could do, Jett. I would have to change it a little. Anyways. Okay. We'd have to come up with our own, unique mechanics. Like maybe in Rainbow Six you have the peak walls and stuff like that. So maybe introduce new mechanics so it's not, or it's a newer, we're adding to the genre rather than just stealing. Or not necessarily stealing, just mimicking. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm gonna do is work on her lift. Or should I work on our smoke? I think I'm gonna try to work on our smoke. Just get it out of the way. It's not going away. So okay. So on start dash, on end dash, play dash particles, handle dash. So this is all revolving around dash. Is trying to dash. Is trying to dash. Not is dash. Yeah. Okay. Handle dash. So what is it? Handle dash then? I think honestly I kind of want to just clean up this update function, and I'll just kind of treat it like no, that's not what I want. Whoops. And then instead of putting this, do that, say handle dash just to clean it up a bit. Handle dash. Okay, and then let's kind of move this handle dash function above the other functions, because it's kind of like the parent function for all these dudes. And then why don't we just create a region, say dashing, and region. Okay. This smoke thing is going to be much more involved. I think one thing that we'll need is definitely like what our mouse input is. So might as well just make another vector, or let's say mouse input vector. System unserialized. Mouse input vector. We'll say vector 3.0. Oops. Okay. And it's just gonna be x and y. I mean, we could honestly do vector 2, right? Could we change this to a vector 2? Oh, oops. Oops, nope. What did I just do? Okay. Let's change this to a vector 2, because we can't really... Vector 2. Cool. Float mouse X. Let's just change this to mouse input vector dot X, and then mouse input vector dot Y, and then change these guys to what we just declared. Okay, so now we have a mouse input vector. Now we have access to it in our Jett controller cache, so I'm just going to create a function, and we'll say handle smoke. So one thing that Jett does is if you click C, or if you click the smoke button, it'll throw the smoke wherever you're looking at some projectile arc or whatever. And if you hold it, then you can kind of manipulate the smoke through the air. So let's just work on getting the smoke part, like just throwing it out, which happens just when you press a button. So I'll say is throwing smoke, and then let's just input.get key down instead of, because we'll use both get key down and get key down. Key code dot C is, I think, the default one. Is throwing smoke. Is throwing smoke. Okay. And then, so if is throwing smoke. And then, so you can't really, if is dashing, you definitely can't throw smokes while you're dashing, so we'll only handle smoke input when you're, at least I don't think you can. We can verify that later. Okay. Is throwing smoke. Okay. So we need to figure out. We need to create a prefab, like instantiate a prefab. We need two prefabs, right? We need one where it just goes through the air, and then we need another, and they're probably going to be two completely separate classes. So let's kind of reorganize our scripts for this. So folder, I'm going to go agents. I'll say Jett because we'll probably be working on more agents. Jett. And then let's move our Jett controller. Oops. And then move it into Jett. And then we can say Jett smoke. Or we can say actually because we don't need a specific Jett smoke, we just need a specific, like once a smoke is on the ground, it kind of functions the same, just with different parameters. So let's make a Jett projectile, or Jett smoke projectile. And then let's open this up. Jett smoke projectile. Here we go. Okay. So let's look at, I guess we can go into Valorant. Yeah. And then we can go see how Jett plays, or how her smoke, like the pre-smoke projectile moves. Oh, cool. Oh, whoa. My game just crashed. Let's try to launch the game again. It is up and running. Okay, it's going to practice, shooting test. I feel like the range is just entirely offline, right? There's no reason why it'd be online, or like there's any type of networking that needs to be done for this. Let me change my keyboard. Where's Jett? Jett. Oops. Okay. No, we're in bye phase. Okay, so what are we doing? C. That is not C anymore. Good.
Blocking sight.
Boom.
Blocking sight.
Boom. Boom.
Blocking sight.
So it goes like a certain distance. Oh no. So I think they both have like a maximum distance. Right? Like if I come out here, it's just they have this maximum distance. So what if I
Blocking sight.
I guess it's similar distances.
Blocking sight.
So that's just like a little arc, like an arrow or something, right?
Blocking sight.
I love this though. It feels so good. Can't wait to work on that.
Blocking sight.
Such a neat idea.
Blocking sight. Blocking sight. Blocking sight. Blocking sight.
Okay. Well, let's exit. I should have taken videos of that, but whatever. We don't have to get it perfect right now. All we need to know is that it's just like an arc. Okay, so trajectory. Let's see. Like this. Trajectory formula. Oops, what was that? Okay. Initial height. So we want to figure out the velocity, the angle of the launch, and the initial height, and this would be the trajectory. What is this? What the heck is that? Is this gravity? So like I guess gravity may be different because it's floating through the air. So we may need to make a jet gravity or smoke gravity. What is this? Is this the angle of the launch? Yeah, of course it is, because you're passing it right. And then velocity v0, I guess, is the. Oops, let's close. I wish that. Okay, let's just see. Feet. Let's say velocity is moving at 10 feet per second. Degrees, say I'm looking up 45, that'll be dynamic. Initial height, let's say 2 feet, or I mean, I guess a person is like 6 feet. That is a lame. Let's say 30. Angle of launch says coming up. Boom. Really though, and 6 is my initial height plus 1x. What is the? Can I go back? Reload. 6 initial height plus velocity. So let's say 30, 20. Initial height is 6 feet. Okay. Initial v0 is. I guess the velocity at 0 at our start. I wish they showed the actual formula. Okay, here we go. And this here, y equals h plus x2. Alright, let's try to just understand this a little better. Gx squared. Is this some constant? Like, what is g, bro? Okay, let's get a different. I mean, it's cool that they can calculate trajectory, but trajectory formula. I don't have to decipher the freaking formula. G equals acceleration due to gravity, 9.80 milliseconds. So I don't understand why. No. So it doesn't make sense. Initial velocity, acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so why don't we just say, whoops, so y vertical position, x equals horizontal position. So the trajectory formula just tells me where it's going to end up. It's not necessarily telling me the position of the item at each step. How to get the... Is there like some time, actually? Cosine of launch angle, horizontal position, acceleration. Okay, so we need some time. How to get the trajectory, or how to get the point of trajectory at a certain point in time. At a certain time. Launching and landing on different projectile on angle, projectile motion. Assess the effect of angle velocity. Time of flight. Maximum height, yep, okay. Key points, range, symmetry. Position. Oh, someone just messaged me. Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing, Vorcryptex? Just trying to figure out Jett's smoke trajectory right now. And I'm brushing up on my trajectory math because I haven't dealt with trajectories. I'm good, I'm good. We got the smoke. Last stream I was having difficulties, like when I was turning my camera, the smoke's particles were not playing the correct ones, so I fixed it, and then just made some polish things. So just started working on her Jett's like C smoke ability. I'm gonna be working on like initially just pressing C, and then it launches, or like her little ball comes out and launches at a trajectory, and then was going to do the whole thing where you like manipulate the trajectory. But I want to make sure I can I understand it, so I don't code myself into a corner, you know, I don't know. I need to think about what math is actually going on with when you're like moving it. Yeah, I don't think it's that tough. I'm not like that, you know, I'm not like using this math every day, so it's not. I definitely have to look at equations and stuff like that and try to learn how to do it. But then once you have, you know, these equations are so well known that you just grab it and you can accomplish a lot with it. But I'm trying to look at like what is the equation for me to get the position of, so I'm trying to get like, how do I figure out the position of a projectile at a specific point in time during its lifespan, right? So, like, all these things are, I guess I maybe, so I have this trajectory formula, right? And it's showing me this XY graph. But I don't understand. Okay. Initial height. So X would equal. I guess if I just plug this in. Yeah. Anyways, I saw your comment on my video about wanting to create some assets, 3D assets for Jett. Yeah, I'm totally down. Are you interested in like making YouTube videos yourself? Are you trying to get into creating content? I think it'd be cool if we could collab, and you know, I'm not an artist, so it's kind of daunting looking at having to learn Blender and all that stuff when you're trying to focus on programming. I imagine it goes both ways, right? Okay. No, not really, but I would like to create some apps for you. Okay. Alright, yeah, then I'll totally connect with you. Let me... I guess after this video I'll contact you, I'll PM you. I guess if YouTube has some PM system, and we can link up, and I'm totally down to work on something. And you know, this initially my thought process is like, I'm making the Valorant tutorial series to, I guess, to give, like, it's a new game, people like the game, and hopefully people are drawn to wanting to develop games. And it's not that difficult to simulate, right? Like, some of the mechanics are not that difficult to simulate, like recoil patterns and stuff like that. And Jett especially is a really simple agent to start off with, and so I'm hoping like it, you know, inspires people to realize that trying to make games isn't that difficult. And so, but I mean, after this, branching out to different things or making more unique mechanics, like coming up with our own mechanic ideas, would be neat. So that's the goal of the channel, I guess, and this tutorial series especially. Okay. I guess, so I'm gonna get back to this. So for now, I'm not gonna worry about the trajectory. I'm just gonna make it travel in a straight path, and then update. So on the jet smoke particle, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna create how fast does the particle move. I'll just private float 30. Let's just say 20. Yeah, I'm very new to game dev and took an interest to it after playing Valorant. I had some experience in 3D art, but never game dev. Yeah, I come from a background, or I work on user interfaces for video games. So I'm like familiar with the game, like game development, but I'm not specifically a game developer or gameplay programmer. So it's always interesting, or professional, right? So it's always interesting seeing things. But yeah, I mean, 3D art is, I mean, there's artists that work at game studios and they're game developers, right? They're just not programmers. So like, you are definitely half of the equation, and it's really important. So if you're if you have experience and you have a passion for 3D art, I'd say, that's an amazing skill to have. Private float variable name will be particle movement speed. And then, let's see. Is that really all we need? Just the movement speed, right? Because we're just moving it. And then we can say transformed out forward would be it. So we just say transformed out position plus equals transformed out forward times particle movement speed times time dot delta time. Okay. I think that's literally all we need for this. Oh yeah, and then we need a max distance. Max distance equals like let's just say 70. And then we'll calculate the distance. So okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Private float, and then we'll have a distance traveled. Distance traveled will equal zero for now. And we'll say this is a unit vector. Returns a normalized vector. Yep. So we'll say movement increment or whatever. Movement increment or transform increment. I don't know. That's a weird. Let's just say movement vector equals whatever we just wrote times particle and movement speed times time dot delta time, and then I'll just say movement vector, and we'll also say this is the distance traveled. So distance traveled plus equals distance traveled, and then we'll say if distance traveled, or let's just, because we don't want to, so if the distance traveled, let's not add onto ourselves, let's say movement vector. So we do need a starting point too. So let's say we can calculate, let's say starting point private vector 3 starting position, and starting position is equal to transform.position when we started. Okay, movement vector, and then there we can use the distance function, distance between the starting position and the movement vector. Okay, so distance traveled, well, we're not adding that, we're just setting it equal to distance traveled. We also, so is it really, it's not about the entire distance traveled, it's about, no, it is, I think it is, because the distance doesn't necessarily change. We'll see what happens. If distance traveled is greater than or equal, or greater than max distance, then we'll say how can we make this so that it's not How can we get a... Let's see. Let's... Else. My intention here was... if the update, if it's gonna move and it's gonna hit the max distance, or if it's gonna be greater than the max distance, we don't want it to be randomized kind of, or unfair. Like, we don't want people to be going beyond the max distance at all. So let's move it to the max distance. Let me just write a comment in here and not worry about it for now. To move the transform to the max distance. Otherwise, let's just destroy ourselves this, because we have gone the max distance. And also, let's not just completely destroy ourselves yet. Let's also to do or let's just say to do create a smoke field, smoke ball around the origin point of where we landed. So we also need to be detecting, so it's not only here, we also need to be detecting any collisions. And how can we select collisions? We can say on collision enter, right? Is that the thing? On collision enter. Whoops. Yeah, it does return void. And then we can just say collision dot collider dot point, or what is it? Collision dot point. Let's see. What did I use for the player weapon script to spawn the particle? Let's see, out hit dot point. Hit is a raycast. Is there contacts? What is this? That's to get point of collision. Maybe look at some Unity documentation or other forms. How to find the point of contact with the function on trigger enter. Collision contacts. Okay, so it's an array. Okay. So we have the point, and then we can say this will be our create a smoke ball. So I'll just say void create smoke ball, and then in here we can say we can pass in the vector 3 position, not vector 3, and then right here we can say create smoke ball position. Right, what is this? System.numerics import. This is create smoke ball at the position. Okay. And or let's just say on create smoke ball, and here we'll destroy the game object after we do everything, right? So let's put this down at the end, and then we'll instantiate the smoke ball somehow. Right, we just need to pass in the smoke ball prefab. So let's do serialize field smoke ball prefab. And then we can just name this our game object. Right? I think it'll be a game object, or for now it can just be a game object. I think I may need to work with the particle renderer system to get this all looking like it does in Valorant. Serialized field, smoke ball prefab. So let's instantiate the object. So instantiate. Smoke ball prefab. Transform dot parent. No, let's just do position, right? Can I do that? Say transform dot rotation. Transform dot parent. No. Can I just do that? Cool. Okay, so here let's say on create smoke ball. Transform create smoke ball, and then I'll say transform dot position. So how do you get let's not worry about it now. Yeah, because we have this G here. And then in here, let's just say on create smoke ball. Collision dot contacts. Go inside the array. 0 index. And then point. And then let's just delete this comment. Maybe we need to do some checks to see if it actually creates the smoke ball, but that's fine for now, I guess. And we're destroying. Okay, so let's create a prefab for the. Let's create a new object, or let's create just like a sphere, right? So we can just create spheres for now. 3D object sphere, and then we can just reset the transform. Scale. What do we want the scale to look like? I mean, if I'm throwing this as Jett, that's pretty big, right, for the initial thing. So let's change this. Let's just change the scale to like 0.5, 0.5, and that looks a little better. So let's just rename this to Jett particle, or Jett smoke ball. No, Jett smoke projectile. Okay, and as a sphere collider, that's fine. And then we can Jett smoke projectile. Yep. Smoke ball prefab. Let's make the smoke ball prefab as well. So smoke ball, and it'll just be a bigger sphere. Whoops. Smoke ball prefab. Just put it up here for now, and then let's just change this to I mean, maybe 3 even. Yeah, more like 3. Jett smoke ball, or maybe Jett smoke ball is fine because it's gonna have different particles, I guess, than other smokes. We're trying to make a pretty robust system that we can, expand to other champions. So like when we make this Jett smoke ball script, we'll make a generic smoke ball class, I guess, or component you know, because there's a bunch of different smokes, right? There's Viper smoke, Brimstone smoke, Omen smoke, Jett smoke, and I imagine there's going to be more characters that can throw smokes in the game, so we want to make them a generic one, but Jett smoke ball is going to be specific to her, because, or the game object itself and the art is going to be specific to her. So let's go into our prefabs folder, and I'm going to start organizing this a little bit more. So let's say agents, or agents, and then let's go in here, create another folder for Jett. Okay, and then let's move Jett trail effects into here, and then let's also just make these also prefabs. Why can't I? Now let's just move them into this folder. Just be a little more organized. So I'm gonna delete the smoke ball for now, and then Jett smoke projectile, and then let's drag in the smoke ball prefab into the class. Hit apply. I think I also have some changes. No. Okay. So I have this projectile, and then in our player Jett controller class, I think I need a. Okay. So let's go back to our Jett controller class, agents Jett, and we are handle smoke. Is throwing smoke. We need to instantiate and we need a serialized field. So serialized field. Let's just do it below these particle serialized field. Then we can say game object Jett smoke projectile equals default, so we don't get warnings about it being unused or unassigned or whatever, because Unity. So we instantiate Jett smoke projectile, and we also say the transform. Okay, so she's throwing it out of like her left hand. I don't have any animations for my left hand, so I think I may just throw it out of the firing point. Like, well, let's just create another for now. Let me just comment, let me just comment this out. And I'm just gonna create like a smoke firing point position transform or whatever on the left side, I guess. So say create, where's create empty, and then we can say Jett smoke firing point. Where's this gonna be? This is gonna be actually, let me make it like a sphere so I can actually visualize it, and so it's not. So player 3D object spheres are cool, and then let's just say 0.5 because that's the dimensions of our smoke particle, and then let's just move this to, where do I want to launch this from? So she's launching it with her left arm for now, like she's going like this, and so that actually looks pretty big. Let's change it to 0.3. I'll change these to 0.3 as well. Jett smoke firing point. Okay, now we have the Jett smoke firing point. Let's just apply these changes to the prefab, and let's get rid of the sphere collider and sphere mesh filter or whatever, and also let's hit apply again, apply all. Okay, so now we have a firing point. And let's go to a player, drag in this into our Jett controller. Let's just apply all again. Right? Or no, we want this one. Jett smoke particle. all. And let's go back into Visual Studio, instantiate the game object at the position, which we need another serialized field for. So say serialized field transform Jett smoke firing position. Okay, and then I don't actually think we need this Jett in here because we're obviously in the Jett controller, so let's just say smoke projectile, smoke firing position. And then smoke projectile. Then we can say smoke firing position. And then we can just say smoke firing position, that rotation. And the rotation will the rotation of the transform in world space. Okay, that's fine. And then let's say smoke firing transform instead. Transform, because it's not just a position. Let's change this transform and then transform. Okay. Dot position. And does the smoke projectile already have it? Yeah, okay. So we can just delete this from the scene. Smoke projectile, smoke fire position, smoke rotation, instantiate. Okay, I think maybe this works. Let's see. Nope, doesn't work at all. What's going on? It's not even trying to. I wonder. Let's see. Is throwing smoke. Why doesn't it work? Debug.log is throwing smoke. Okay. Let's go back to Unity. So it's not even getting my input. What? Why? Oh, I know why. I'm stupid. And here, it's if is not dashing. It's not if is dashing. So, okay. So, Jett smoke firing transform. We just need to assign the transform, and then smoke projectile, overrides, apply all. Save. Now it'll work. Yep. Okay. That's way too far. I mean, it's not even. What happens if I? Is it still? Oh, nope. That's not what we want. Let me just change the smoke projectile max distance, distance traveled, starting position from the movement vector. Oh, not the movement vector, the position of the transform. New, I'll say new position. Say vector 3, new position equals. Then we'll say transform dot position plus equals movement vector. And then the distance between the starting position and the new position, and then we can just honestly set this. No, we can't set it, so let's just plus equals movement vector. And we'll clean this all up, I guess, once we get it all working. Okay, so if I throw it, it should just. Okay, cool. I mean, it turned into a smoke ball. So if I go over to it, let's just dash over to it so it's quicker. It shouldn't have, the smoke I don't think should have a collider on it. So we can get rid of that, but if I, so whatever on collision enter is so funny. Yeah, it needs to go where I'm looking. So not necessarily. So I thought the smoke firing position. Let's see. Prefab. Transform dot rotation. What if I just went flare controller? Flare controller. That transform. No. It would be where my camera is, right? So flare. I don't have a reference to my camera, so camera, flare camera, and then let's just. Oh, this should be a serialized field as well, right? So serialized field. Alright, how can I send you the things, by the way? You already finished them? What the heck? How did you do it so quickly? Or have you been working on them? Let me figure out a way to message you on YouTube. Like your is there a way how to so I don't Oh, okay, sounds good. That's awesome, dude. I wonder how we can exchange like information without doing it on the stream or video. Maybe Discord or something. Do you have a Discord? Alright, what's your Discord handle? I'll send you an invite. I'll send you a friend invite. Alright, cool. I just sent you a Discord invite. Are these just 3D models, or do you have actual animations for them also? Okay. Do you know how to animate? I mean, I vaguely know how to use Unity's animation system, but I am not good at animating.
no brain. Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, Jett, I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators,
What?
and I don't know what you
Camera does not contain definition of rotation. Transform.
done with you so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Okay, cool.
Gotta stay away from all your games and find somebody else to love every day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on
Oh,
the other side.
these smoke balls don't have. That's funny. That'd be cool actually if I get the collisions working and I make like you can create platforms with these things. But that's not Jett. That's not Jett. I don't know why they're not colliding.
So now I gotta say goodbye.
So I guess I just let's see. Prefab. I just import this.
Yeah, my life is lovely now, I'm focused on me. You said you were about to die, I guess the car
How
is
do
for
I-
me. But see, I ain't even tripping, cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need.
go like
I don't
this.
wanna see you flying, see you looking down and out. Coming to me crying.
So I downloaded the prefab. I'm not sure. I need to look up how to actually like import these, or do I need to do anything special? I know there's a meta file and a prefab file. Do I need to drag them both in or something?
Find somebody else to love every day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time. So now I gotta say goodbye.
Okay. I'm not seeing the model.
So now I gotta say goodbye.
Let's see. Did I input this wrong or something? I know I have the meta. Let me open Visual Studio Code, see what's going on. Let's like actually look at the file. See if there's anything I need to. So, say Phantom. Oh, maybe I need to replace this. So instead, go to prefabs, prefabs dot, and then let's just drag this in here and replace it. Is that different? What? Yeah, I'm not seeing the. At least I don't think I am. Let's zoom in on it. Okay, sounds good. I'll just delete these then. Delete. Boop. Boop. It looks like maybe it's something with the meta file or something, I don't know. I could try adding it again, seeing if I can make it happen. Prefab, prefab. Okay. And if I drag it into the scene. Oh, I see that there's like a bunch of stuff. But why? So if I reset it, move it up. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing. See all this? Whoa, dude, this is crazy. Whoa. Yeah, they're just empty game objects, it seems like. Gunbuddy and Jigglebone. Dang. How long have you been working on this? Or how long does it take to make something like this? I'm really curious what it looks like. I'll continue programming in the meantime. Alright, so I need to figure out why the on collision enter is not working. So let's say Jett smoke projectile on collision enter. Let me just see if it's actually detecting. It's definitely not. So on collision enter. Do I need to do something special to have this on collision enter function being called or something? Yeah, definitely not. But this definitely has a collider on it, right? Wall collider. On collision enter is not being called. Okay. Do I just drag and drop it in? Blender. Is this a Blender file? Import blend file into Unity. You can start it too. I think I do. Maybe I don't. Nope, definitely don't. I mean, I have the uninstall thing. Let me, Blender. Let me install it actually. Okay, cool. I'm currently installing. Okay. So I have it installed. Right. Let me just open it. Blender. So I definitely have it installed now. It is. I just importing a blend file into Unity. Simply drag and drop it into locations. You can place a file. Okay. After that, simply drag and drop the asset into your scene. Ah. Okay. So. Oh. Cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Dude, nice. Yo, that looks legit. Hold on, let me get a closer look at this. Actually, let me child this to the player. See, let me just whoops. I just deleted the prefab. Actually, hold on. Let me. Dang, dude. All right, let's see. Let's drag this into our scene, and then we can just say main camera. Under main camera, why don't we just set this to inactive and put this right here. Open prefab, that's fine. What? Okay, let's delete it in here. Open. And we can add the phantom model. Okay. Phantom model. We'll just set it. Okay. So we have to rotate it on the y-axis, so 90, and then we can move it and down a little. Yo, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Oh, it's like a phantom with no silencer. That's pretty sick. I mean, honestly, we could. So I have arms. Armature weapon. Okay, sounds good. Let me just run around like this. It's fine. Get some muzzle flash on this. Also, so, do you have is it just the gun, or do you have hands for the gun? Man, sick. It looks really nice too. I'll try the, or I guess I need a blend file for your knife model as well. But it looks really good. If I look closer at it. That's pretty awesome. Okay, for these texture files, I imagine I just do I just drag and drop it onto the model, or standard opaque? Yeah, I don't think the texture file. Am I doing something? And texture. both. Or let me. Box glider is not a trigger. This agent jet smoke particle is not a trigger. So why is this function not being called? Doesn't have any of these properties. Make sure one of them has a non-kinematic rigid body attached. Really? Okay. So if I come to the jet smoke projectile, just attach a rigid body to it and say, or that's fine, I guess. Discrete. So I guess rigid body handles. Okay, let's see. That's funny that it bounces off. Take a material and put that in the beta. Okay. So if I go to Phantom model, activate it, and I'll just go. I'll make a new thing for materials. I'll just put the ground one in there, and then let's say let's download this file. I guess I'll just import it for now. Okay, see, and material. And let's say Phantom material, Phantom, just call it Phantom, and then albedo area. So I just drag it, whoop, and then apply this. Oh man, that's nice. That is sleek. That is sleek. I like this little liner here. Let's see. Yo, do you have hands for this? I'm gonna start making animations with hands for this thing. Oh my gosh. We got ourselves. Yeah, the arms. I can probably, if you don't want to, I can probably spend a live stream or something working on the animations. I mean, all we're really doing, right, is just moving it up every time I hit, or like moving the gun up a little bit, or moving it up and back, I guess, right? So like if we look at this thing, I mean, honestly, I could just use these arms, right? I just wouldn't, I don't have, like, the reload animations and stuff like that. So if I come here, not weapon, but... just hide that. Look, I have arms. Yeah, it's just, oh, maybe if I... Dude, I think we already have animations, actually. If I just put this right under here. Phantom model. Let's say assault rifle. And then I can just move it under here, right? Reset. Nope, that's not what we want. Why is that? Where'd our Phantom go? Why is it like that? Oh yeah, I assume I'm almost done with the arms, but I never did animation. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The arms would be sick. Let me see if I... What is it doing? It's... Being weird. What? Say 0? Nope. Can I rotate it? Nope, that's not it. Z. So why can't I rotate this thing? 90. Why is it looking up? Why are all these things? What? I'm so confused right now. What is this? Why does it look like that? If I just reset it? Or what if I just use the same? Copy, paste. Nope, that's definitely different. Okay. Well, that's not gonna work. Just move this guy outside for now. Leave it for now. And then re-enable this. It looks sick, bro. It looks sick. I'm excited to see all the other stuff that you've done. Okay. So let me actually change these. I don't need them to be collision. I can just do trigger enters or something. Right?
Thank God that the brothers
see.
on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. Let them
Let's
know I
say
see where I reside now.
trigger.
Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And if you quit it, 'cause I know I'm coming with it. You was sitting
Trigger
doing
enter,
what
pass
you
in a
know was
collider.
endless.
Okay, cool.
Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous. You would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that. Yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip. Yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back.
Jett smoke ball. Jett. Okay, let's just get rid of this rigid body right here.
Chains on me 'cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best, and I told them
Spear collider is trigger.
every ticket I sold.
What does it look like compared to?
Facts, bro. Facts. Lot of haters. Tell me where they at though. I'm the new
Okay.
pop, all I do
Cool,
is
cool.
rap though. Want me on your song? Throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like
Oh, look at. I have the knife in the view too. What? Oh no, never mind. That's just part of the asset I'm using right now.
yeah, I'm going mainstream.
Okay.
Flow like what a song going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
So I made it a trigger. I need to go to the script and then change this to on trigger enter. On trigger enter. So that's. Why isn't that? Okay. Nope. So like this. For Blender. What is it? TGA. So mono behavior. On trigger enter collider. I mean, I don't understand why it's. What? Oh, collider. Passes in a collider, not a. That's so annoying. Say that, and then we'll say here. Oh gosh, collider, and then we'll say collider. And we'll just do. Do I have an insert on or something? Okay. Collider. Collider dot. Or collider dot contact or bounds. Say touch. Contact offset. If I just use the transform position here, what happens? I really want it at the point of collision. I don't want just some. Let's see. Nope, that didn't work. I think it's because these guys aren't triggers. Is trigger. Nope, that didn't work either. What? Let me just change this. Okay. I wonder why. Maybe I can just change it back, apply a rigid body to it, and then not apply any gravity. Okay, collision. And then pass a rigid body into this dude. Let's see. Angular drag. What do we have? Mass. Use gravity. Nope. Jett arms. Oh, nice. Dude. Okay. Alright. Let's see what these look like.
I ain't feeling lonely, and I want a minute, it's time to end the ride.
Whoops.
Fading too slowly, were those gonna lift me up this time? You were the only one who got me tripping up inside.
Okay, so I had the arms. Let's see what these look like. Where are they? Okay, okay. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Alright, let me make a material for her arms as well. This is awesome, dude. This is awesome. Jett arms. Jett material. Oh, no. Let's just say. Then I have the TGA. Do I have the TGA? No. Okay, so. Oh, dang. Albedo. Put in the albedo and emissions. Emissions. Oh, emission. And then do I like drag it somewhere? Color? I don't know. What? Did I do something? Oh, nice. Okay, so also emission, Jett arms. Okay, cool. Dang, dude. Oh, yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Dang, how long have you been working on this, dude? What a coincidence that I'm working on Jett and you're working on Jett. That looks awesome. Yeah, now we just need like animations with a gun or something like that. Why is it dark? It may be my lighting, or like the way my project is configured, or like the light source or whatever. I don't know. I have if you have some lighting settings that you're using to make it look better, then just let me know and I can change my project to use those lighting settings. But it's just shadows, I think. Like if I move it out into the light. 90. Let's do negative 90. And then yeah, right there. Man, that looks so sick. I mean, look at the other glove. Let me run up to them and then I can spectate them. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. Can you re-drag the Jett arms? The arms material on the Jett arms? Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. This is what it looks like, the Jett arms. Did I configure this all correctly? I don't know if you can see it. Oh, here we go. Wait, what the heck? That was weird. Okay, yeah, that looks really good. Yeah. Yeah, that looks a lot more like Jett. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't just the actual lighting. Okay. Damn, the hand, dude, looks so good. How do I do a more controlled zoom? Oops. Dang, dude, you're pretty good at 3D modeling. Are you interested in doing animations for this, or are you not interested? It's up to you, man. You don't have to. I probably know as much as you do about animation, or probably less if you know any. But. So I would have to really brush up or learn how to animate things. Thanks for this anyways. It looks great. Well, I have those in. Let me just get this inversion control so I don't bleed anything. Say 4 cryptics. Jett arms and phantom adventures. Okay, cool. So maybe in the future, if you want to just keep working on more models or something, then I can start working on animation. It's up to you. But thank you so much, man. That's awesome that you made that stuff and are willing to hand it to me. That's awesome. Definitely give you credit for it in videos and stuff like that if you want me to. Okay, I'm gonna get back to trying to figure out these smokes. I have no idea why these projectiles are not going away. I do know why these aren't disappearing, and we need to also get them into like a trajectory. So great smoke ball. I don't understand why it's not destroying itself though. It's so weird. It should be. Jett smoke projectile. Smoke ball. This thing doesn't have anything connected to it. Well, it's also in the Jett controller. Like, we have a limited amount of dashes that we can do, so I'll just set it to 2 for now. Actually, let's just keep it at 100 for now. Max dash attempts. Okay. And then we'll say private and max smoke attempts equals. It's 3, right? You can do 3. And then private and smoke attempts. We've done 0 so far. Okay. And then we can keep track of the duration of the smoke inside the smoke controller. And we can make that really customizable. It is throwing smoke. So let's look at what we did for dashing. Dash attempts. So we say is smoke attempts is less than max smoke attempts. Right? Because dash attempts is less than this. Yeah, okay. So it'll be less, and then we can just smoke attempts plus equals 1. Cool. So I only give myself 3 attempts, so I should only be able to throw out 3. Right? Bop, bop, bop. And I can't throw out anymore. Cool. Now we need to figure out why that's not going away. And then let's make our smoke ball component. Why isn't it this going away? Constraints. Interpolate. Nope. What happens if I turn it into is kinematic? So it just... it does the thing we want. I'm not sure. Destroy. Okay, so it's not even do. Destroy this. I say this dot game object. Is that what I need to do? And not make it kinematic. And then we throw it. Okay, cool. That's what we need to do. Alright, cool. So now we have kind of the smoke working, right? I mean, that's kind of weird. It should really... I mean, is that weird? I mean, it's not that weird. It just went kind of far through. Say on collision enter. Collision.context here at a point. Let me give myself more attempts. Smoke attempts. I'm just gonna change it to 100 for now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. That's funny. Alright, so let's go to the smoke ball. We don't need a sphere collider, right? What happens when I turn off the sphere collider? I'll actually go through it, right? What if I... and I can see everything inside. So there's probably something with shaders or something that I can do. I'll definitely need to learn how to do that because I don't know how to do that right now. But in the meantime, let's start working on the timing. So like each smoke ball, let's make a generic smoke ball component. Smoke ball. Okay. Smoke ball. Edit script, and all we need to do on this guy is pretty much just have a timer, I guess. Timer. So start time. So this is something that'll be pretty generic. So serialized field. Serialized field. Alright, goodbye, man. I have to go. Oh, dude. See ya. Hope you come back and we work more together, dude. I thank you so much for all the models that you gave me. They look awesome. I'm glad that you reached out and commented. But have a good night, dude. Alright, so serialized field. Man, we making friends out here, dude. Ah, love it. Alright. Alright, have a good night. Serialized field. Let's say start time. That's just gonna be a float start time. And then we'll just set it to... oh, that's fine. No. This is not a start, actually. Start time is a private float. Start time. Okay. And then we can just say start time equals time.time. And then we'll have a serialized field. That's the duration seconds. Float duration seconds. So we'll say 5. what am I doing for the other ones? Am I no so float duration seconds? Okay. Start time. And then let's say we have to make another variable called private float time elapsed, right? And we can just say 0.0f. And so we have start time, we have time elapsed, and our update function equals start time minus start time. And then, so now we have our updated time elapsed. If time elapsed is greater than or equal to our duration seconds, and then we'll just say on, or let's just say vanish or something. Vanish. So, because we probably need to trigger some other effects. So we'll make a function called vanish, and we can just for now trigger some effect to do trigger some effect, and then I'll say vanish, and then we'll just destroy this game object. And we would probably destroy it after we are triggering the effect. So I'm gonna add this to the smoke ball, and I think Jett's smoke is 7 seconds right now, so we already know how long these smoke balls should be up for. So change this to 7, save it, play it, see if the duration works out. So it should be disappearing soon. I can shoot through it. It's not blocking any projectiles. Sweet, and it disappears. Awesome. Okay. So let me just save this and get control 2. Create smoke ball script. Okay. So now we have that. I think the next thing that we need to do, we could either go the direction of let's update the rotation of this guy, of the projectile. Jet controller, smoke ball, not these. Just close all these. Okay. I think I need to figure out a way to pass the rotation of my camera to this guy, to each projectile that we throw out. Let me see, is there some do I do something in the instantiate, assign a variable unity? Let's see. That's another function. Instantiate thingamabob. What? You have some script on here, so maybe a thing script so you would do. Right, okay. That, of course. So we have a, let's just say a public camera, player camera. We'll just have a reference to our player camera. Hopefully that'll work. So when I create the object, we have reference to the game object. So smoke projectile game object, instantiated. Let's just say underscore smoke projectile, so we don't have a super long name. Smoke projectile, and then our smoke projectile will just assign player camera, or get component, right? Get component Jett smoke projectile, and then we can say player camera and we'll just reference, we'll just pass the reference to our player camera. And then if I have this, so we have, it's just moving in the forward direction. I think we can affect, what if, okay, so what if we just try something and we say transform that rotation, because rotation affects, so if I do, this is actually, I think, gonna work. So transform, hopefully it works. Transform dot rotation. This would be neat. This would be a lot easier than I thought it would be. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, that's sick. That's sick, dude. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Alright, so we only do this when we hold the button down, right? So we also need a public is bool is is, let's say, is manipulatable. That's a terrible variable name. Is controlled, and we could also just make a static variable or a static function in this class. Why don't we do that? Public static create instantiate or something. Instantiate, and what we'll do is we'll return the game object. So instantiate, let's say vector, or vector 3 position, quaternion, rotation, right, the things that we need, and then we'll have the things that we need to pass in. So like camera, our reference to our player camera, and then also a is controlled bool. Is controlled. And then when I release, I also need to be able to Okay, so this is gonna be a little more complicated. We'll make it but it's not gonna be too difficult. Okay, so instantiate. And then we'll just say, do whatever we did in here, right? So oops. So we know that, let's just save this to actually, is this a good idea? Nah. Let's just do it in here. So smoke projectile, we don't need it initializing itself. That, I feel like that's kind of weird. So let's do Jett smoke projectile. Jett smoke projectile equals smoke projectile dot get component Jett smoke projectile. There we go. And let's set the player camera. Jett smoke projectile. Set the player camera. Maybe we should just make a function, like a public function, to be like initialize these, so that initialize values or something, you know, so that we don't run into a problem where, like, I don't know, I think I'm overthinking this. Is controlled, and okay, is controlled camera, player camera. Okay, And then we say is controlled, play camera. And then say is control. Oh, let's do underscore these dudes because they have a name clash. Is controlled equals is controlled. And then player camera equals player camera. Okay. So we have those, and we need to equals default. Smoke attempts is throwing smoke. Debug log is throwing smoke. Jett smoke projectile dot initialize values. We actually don't really need to assign it to a variable, but whatever. We'll say is controlled, so say is control bool controlled throwing smoke. Input.get key and key code.c. So this tells us that we're holding it, right? And this tells us that we're just throwing it, kind of. So is throwing smoke. Both of them should tell us that. Okay. I think we need to go into Valorant and see how this works. So I'm gonna comment that out for now. Like, what happens when I release the C? Okay. Let's go into the shooting test. Excuse me. Ooh. Man, that hit. Okay. Not available during the buying phase. Is it a bot or something? I think it's a bot. Okay, so it just kind of drops off and does its own thing. So I could. Okay, so what's up, Lamar, dude? You haven't seen you in a long time, dude. How you doing? You still streaming? Okay, so we have confirmed that when you release okay, so I think we need a reference to each. Like, we need to be, say, current projectile, right? So we'll say we need a reference to our current projectile, so private. Pretty good and not much. I got 2 jobs now. What about you? Do you still stream much? Nah, well, I'm starting to pick it back up. I make videos on YouTube about, or right now it's just tutorials and stuff like that. But I've just been streaming my process. Like, I'm creating tutorials right now. Yeah. But I'm good, dude. I'm transitioning to a new job on Monday, so. I was at the company still when we met, like, so it's been 3.5 years or so since I was at that company, so. Have you played any Valorant? Or are you still playing, I don't even remember what game we were playing, like Stardew Valley. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, nice, nice. We should add each other, dude. I love that game. I'm making a tutorial series right now about, like, right now I'm working on Jett. So, like, here's my Unity project. And I'm working on her smoke right now. So, it's kind of broken right now. But, it was working a second ago before you hopped in. Yeah. No, it's nothing special. Like yesterday I worked on the dash particles and stuff like that. I'm using, and then I have like the spread recoil pattern down, you know, crouching, stuff like that, jumping. So I was thinking just like make Jett in Unity. And one of the viewers on YouTube actually created like Jett models. Or let me show you. He was on here earlier and just offered to. So he made this, and let me go to materials. Let's drag it onto this dude. And let's drag it on. Yeah, so he like he modeled all this, did the textures and stuff like that, and then also a phantom. Oops, that's not what we want. Let me drag a phantom in. Nope, that's not what we want. Again, prefabs, phantom. Let me just reset it. Oops. And there's a materials phantom model. Yeah. So if I look at it, dude, it looks so good. Yeah. So the stuff he just gave me doesn't have any animations, so that's why I'm not using it. But it's awesome that some dude just offered to collab, and he's like an artist. Not gonna lie, I did coding in school and it was so hard. I got a D, I didn't pass, so seeing stuff is amazing. Like you must be. Nah, I think it's more about, you know, I'm not necessarily smart. I made a video talking about like how I started programming. I mean, I've been programming for like 5 years now, or 5 or 6 years now. And I started like when I started college, like my freshman year of college. And like the first day of computer science class, I was terrified. You know, like we were talking about binary or something, and I had no idea what anyone was talking about. But then I just kept persisting and kept programming through the night, you know, every single night, spending time with my professor, and I got more proficient and then was like an A student in the class. So I think it's like if it inspires you, like when you create something and like it feels good, right? Like when I make a mechanic or something and I see it come to fruition, it's really gratifying. So it's like I'm chasing, in a way, it's like I'm chasing that feeling like I do in video games, right? Like in video games, you're chasing that, you know, I want to get the next item or something like that, and you're chasing that feeling. So I look at it like video games, but yeah. So I wouldn't say I'm like any different from you, other than that it may make me feel better than it makes you feel, you know, or you didn't get to the point where you can create things that appeal to you yet, you know. Like for a while, you're learning, when you're learning how to program, you're making like calculators and stuff, and it can be kind of boring and not exciting. But you know, imagine once you have to do that stuff to get to this, or get to stuff like this, or you don't, you know, you could just start off doing this and try to learn what's going on. But yeah, True, it's hard to learn at first, like learning a new language. Yeah, it definitely is really hard. Like slamming my head against the keyboard for hours every single day on simple questions. Even yesterday I live streamed and I was stuck. Like I program all day and then I live stream, so my brain is kind of dead already. And I was like stuck on a problem that's so simple, and so it's just like it kind of it's like life. Programming, you're just constantly have these challenges that are very annoying to work with, and they kind of they clash with you, and it's just like a challenge to hop over, so. And like learning, especially during the learning process, like you're constantly learning, like as a professional software engineer, you're constantly learning, so you're always gonna have that, like it's tough, right? But then once you get past the language, gotta rest more, dude. It sounds like you work a lot. Nah, we're young, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's problems that need to be solved in this world, and like, who's gonna solve them? It's like the people who are gonna work toward solving them. So that's, any problem, right? Like what I'm trying to do right now is make tutorials and inspire more people to get into programming or game development, because it's not like making Jett, like this and stuff like that. It's not as daunting as it seems, and like making the spray pattern and stuff like that, it may seem difficult, but then once you start breaking it down, it's easier to understand, and it can be fun and rewarding, like playing games. So I mean, I'm still working on like my video production skills and stuff like that, but hopefully one day I'll evolve so to help more people try to get into it. Yeah. But I guess there's like, people have different opinions on how they want to, if they want to work a lot or if they want to relax, and there's nothing wrong with either, right? Like I totally respect people who appreciate and respect themselves and take the time out of their day to, like me time, right? But I also respect the other side of the spectrum, where you have people who, sacrifice, not necessarily sacrifice, but give up a lot of free time towards some goal. So I think it's just different types of people. I think I'm on that side of the spectrum where I sacrifice a good amount of time to reach some goal. But also, like, I do understand the importance of relaxing and stuff like that. So I play games all the time and relax. Although Valorant is not very relaxing. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so we have the smoke crashing for some reason. Why is it crashing? So, say Jett smoke projectile. Initialize values needs to be passed in, is controlled. Let's just say true for now. Also, my name is Youper Bowling Joe. If you want to add, but I'm not on too much, so we're gonna bar and all my non-reserves. Gotta put food on the table. Dang, dude. I'm reserves and a bar. Are you a bartender? Yeah, I'll write a note so I add you on Valorant. That's totally fine though. I totally understand the work life. Oh, nice, dude. When I was in college, I worked at. Oh, nice, bartender. Yeah. I remember you were like, it was like 2 years ago or a year ago when we first met each other. But yeah, I worked at a restaurant when I was a freshman in college, and I was a delivery driver. But the bartenders were always tight people. They were always like the wise, like the wise, cool people you kind of look up to. Okay. I wrote a note down, so I'll send you an invite. Do you know what your tag is for Valorant? Like the hashtag NA1 or whatever? I'm so wise and going, dude, I bet, bro. I bet. Problem, I'm EU West servers. What? Oh, true. Okay. Maybe we probably can't play Valorant together, or I mean, I'm on NA, right? So I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to, yeah. Big sad if it's like what you didn't know. Yeah, I assume it is. I mean, I think they're using like their Riot networking solution or whatever, the Riot internet service provider or whatever across both games. Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, that'll make you faint on sight. But she looks like trouble.
Okay, so we're
Her lips so kissable and poisonous. I know she won't be good for me.
Yeah, dude, look, I have I just worked on this, but I kind of had it so that like the ball is moving with my, if I hold it down, you know how Jett smoke is. So it's pretty cool. It doesn't look, the smoke doesn't look anything like Jett's, but it's still funny. Yeah. I also need to make it so that it drops, you know. It's pretty cool, right? Dude, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Like, it's exciting to see this stuff work. Even if it's like, it looks like crap, like, that looks like crap, right? It's just a silver ball. Like, but it's really exciting to work on it. It's really rewarding. It's like finding a new item in Diablo or something, or Path of Exile, you know? It feels rewarding. Yeah, so I was, yeah, but it definitely started something cool, yeah. I mean, it takes time, right? Like, I've been working on this for 2 hours or something, or a couple hours. Just the smoke thing, right? And it's like learning, you know, even though I've been programming for a long time, I'm still learning constantly. But you know, there's a lot. If you start to break it down, like it has to collide, and there's a max distance, right? So at a certain point, it just expands, and the numbers aren't exactly like Valorant, but they're similar. You know? And this FPS controller feels really similar to Valorant, right? Like, so, like peeking corners and stuff like that. And it's a pretty simple spray pattern, but eventually I'll make it more like how Valorant does it or whatever, you know. And then hopefully that guy Cryptex who made the Phantom and the Jett models, we collab more, and then we get it looking more, you know, he's more of an artist than I am, it seems, so hopefully he comes out or creates some more cool stuff, and then this starts looking like a lot like Valorant, or a lot like an actual game rather than this green environment and lame walls or something. Yeah. So I need a reference to the current. I think Val's bloom as in the recoil is random apart from the first few shots, but CSGO has a pattern for the recoil. Yeah, I realized, like, I was playing around in Valorant. I played Counter-Strike 2, and Valorant is definitely has some randomization in their spray pattern. It follows like a similar spray pattern, but it's a little random. So I was like split, like, should I implement the randomness, or should I not? So I don't know. The way I'm doing it is I have an AK-47, for example, and I'm just pretty much rotating the gun every bullet. So like I'm rotating the gun on the x-axis, and then I'm gonna rotate it on the y-axis after a few shots. So I was thinking, like, I could add randomization properties to each one of these, or like, you know, the third, fourth. It's your own game, you do you. Yeah, I know, dude. But the tutorial series I'm making is like how to build Valorant in Unity. So I want it to be close to Valorant, but honestly, I don't really like the randomness of the spray pattern. So like, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it, or that's something I've been thinking about. So. Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, focusing on that stuff later, though. That's like really getting into the nitty-gritty details, which is important. But so. Yeah. That's my girlfriend. She's just making some food. No, it's not a mirror. It's my girlfriend. All right. Okay, so we have a current smoke projectile. If hail smoke, so whenever we do key down with the face on smoke is controlled when smoke. Handle handle controlled smoke. Pull is controlled if we hold the key down, right? So input get key down, key code.c, and then we can say current smoke projectile dot is controlled is equal to is controlled. So we can say is throwing smoke, and then let's actually make this a public bool. Is throwing smoke get private set equals false. Now move this bool above these dudes, and then onstart dash pull out gun. Okay. And then is there a hide gun? Yeah, okay. Cool. So when I throw a smoke, when I initially throw a smoke, I hide my gun, right? So player, let's say void on or throw smoke. Smoke. Let's move these guys here. Okay. And then let's also say player weapon dot hide gun. And then throw smoke. Alright. Now we are currently throwing the smoke. And we are also going to delete this because we are currently signing and we don't necessarily so yes, we actually do need that bullet throwing smoke, and I'll say it's trying to trying to throw smoke. Okay, and then is trying to throw smoke if it's true. To throw smoke, and then in throw smoke we set is throwing smoke to true. Okay. And then we'll say handle controlled smoke. If is throwing smoke, then we listen for the input variable and we set that. And then when we is throwing smoke, let's actually we don't actually need to make a separate function for that. So let's go back up here where we handle smoke is throwing smoke. That gets set in our throw smoke function. And then if let's say, so also Jett, when you lift up the key, when you lift up the key, you don't control the smoke anymore. It pretty much just falls down. So, is stopping smoke. Is stopping control. Pulls input key up, key code.c. And then after we do this control check, we can say if is stopping control, then we set is throwing smoke to equal to false, and then we change the current smoke projectile to null. And then let's just say, I feel like there's gonna be some throw smoke. Okay, maybe this actually will work. So, oh, they're both, oh, am I not? Get key, not get key, get key. Is controlled, and then we'll say false by default, right? Why is it still following my... Oh, yeah, because I need to set current smoke projectile that is controlled to false equals false, and I'm just gonna on here not actually allow them gonna say get private set. Okay. Right, and oh, oops. Get, or I don't even need to make this public, right? I can just say player camera. And then is controlled. I can say make a public function saying set is controlled, bool is controlled, is controlled equals to is controlled. Okay. And then in here, instead of just these dot set is controlled, and then just pass in the bool, and we can do the same for the false. Alright, so we have that. I think this will work. So, am I still controlling it? Hold on. Yep, why am I still controlling it? What? Is stop and control. Get key up. Let me do this. Okay. Get key down, get key up. Is throwing smoke. Is throwing smoke. False. Set is controlled. False. And then in here. Oh, it's because I'm not actually checking if it's right. It's transformed out. Okay, here we go. That's fine. If is controlled, then change the rotation along with the camera rotation. Okay, cool. So we have that. Okay, cool. That's exactly what we want, actually. Cool. And it's I'm holding, letting go. Holding. Cool. Alright, that's what we want. Just get Jett smoke control down. Looking good. Yeah, dude. I just need a right now it's literally just going straight out. But in game it has like some arc path, so I need to. I think I also need to slow it down. It may be a little too fast. Also, what happened to my gun? What? Oh, I'd never bring it out. That's why. Okay. So I'm hiding the gun on. I'll say on smoke and say void on smoke and or on throwing smoke and player weapon dot pull out gun. Okay, and then what was it saying? Oh yeah, pass a callback to it. Okay, let's go back to Unity. So now when I finish holding or controlling the smoke, I should pull out my. No, I didn't call the function. So here we go. Alright, let's also say this. Throwing smoke. And then do that. And then instead of doing that, we can just say on, throwing smoke, and. So now when I let go of the key, when I stop controlling, we bring it out. Okay. Nice. Maybe eventually, once I get to a polish phase, I can just add a little bit of more delay. I don't think that feels exactly like Jett. Like she doesn't really, she like pulls back her hand and then brings, oh my bad, and brings up the gun. So maybe add in like a couple millisecond delay or something when we pull it out. Yeah. Eventually, I'll have her hand, like, she has a little shooting hand on her left, so. Yeah, I also need to give this, like, particles and make it look nice, too. So, I think the next thing I'm going to do is make it have the arc. Looks so weird. Make it have the arc by default, right? So it doesn't just like go in a straight path or whatever. Man, it feels so good to just play around with it. What a neat mechanic, honestly. Okay. How long have I been streaming? Let's see. Almost 3 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna try to get the arc down in the next 20 minutes or so. Thank you. Try to get the arc down in the next 20 minutes and then I'll end the stream. Okay, thank you. So I need to look at Jett smoke projectile. So I'm just doing this transform.forward. So I'm literally moving wherever the projectile is rotated toward. So I need to do some type of I could. Okay. What if I went like, what's this movement vector being used for? Okay. Movement vector, and then what if I just added some force down? So like, it's not a true trajectory calculation, but it's not terrible. So I have this, whoops, this plus equals, or plus, transform down, is that a thing? Forward, up, up. And I guess if I multiply this by -1, it'll be down, right? And then times particle movement speed, or no, that's not gonna work. What if I just did like gravity or something, times time dot delta time. Okay, and then we go back here. What happens if I throw it out? That is not what we want. It should not be going up like that. Okay. I think I know why. I think I just need to get rid of that -1. It's going down really fast, actually. Let's. Okay, so if it's really interesting seeing you code. Thank you, man. Yeah. I think it's neat seeing people program too. It's like, honestly, I don't know what it's like for you to watch me code, or if you, how familiar you are with the language and stuff like that and the concepts, but it makes it a lot simpler to watch someone, you know, what problem am I working on right now, and how am I, or like how am I thinking about that problem in my head. It helps me too, you know, by speaking aloud to you know, people watching or something. You use Python? Okay, yeah. This is C#. So Python's a little, I think, a little simpler syntax, but you know, you can accomplish similar things. I haven't done much work with Python, but it doesn't take too long for me to learn a new language. What if I just change this to some random, like, what if I just change it to -1 instead? And okay, so what if I change it to -2? Well, it's not really doing much. What about -4? Yeah, I don't like that. That's not good. I want it to be like, ooh, like fall off, and maybe I do need a more formal trajectory equation to do that. Like, now it's just moving in a, you know, it needs to be like, whoa, like this, right? I can't just do this, I don't think. Or can I? I can, right? I can say, make a variable called downward force, and over time just increment it, right? So I could say start off at -2 and just increment it downward force equals plus equals, let's just increment it by some value, so let's just say like 1.2 f times time dot delta time or something, and then let's just use that. I feel like this is such a hacky way to do it, but you know, they may have done it this way, you know, I don't know. Downward force. So this should increase the downward force on the projectile. Which it doesn't seem like it's doing, or maybe I'm just not applying enough downward force. Right. Oh, so if I have a negative number and I add a positive number, that that equals, let me bring out the calculator because I suck with negative numbers. So 5 plus 2, -3. So we actually want to subtract this. That's probably why. Okay. So it looks like it's starting to go down. So what if I did 0.8? Or what if I actually instead treated this like gravity or something? Just be like, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So also, we shouldn't apply this downward force when we are controlling the projectile, right? So that's actually really nice. So let's say we have our movement vector, okay? And let's do this. And then instead, let's say if we're not controlling, is controlled, okay? Let's say movement vector, if not is controlled, so we're not holding down C, then we add plus equals the downward force math that we just made, okay? So now I think we literally have what Jett smoke, except that falls down real fast, which is not what we want. Oh, because it needs to only have downward force and increment that downward force if we are not controlling it. So let's see. Yep, that's exactly like it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Boop, boop. Maybe we can apply less downward force. Like, let's just messing with numbers now. Downward force. Let's say private float downward force increment or something. Increment. There's probably more scientific terms for this, but downward force increment. Go back to Unity. Okay, because I know it doesn't fall off like crazy. Like I can look at something and it just looks so sudden, actually. Like, it looks like it's dropping off too fast. I don't know. Maybe we just keep messing around with the numbers, see if that fixes it. 5, maybe. It doesn't look smooth, you know, like floating or floaty. It still kind of looks, I should also make it so that it doesn't go halfway under, but I can do that later. Like if it hits the ground, then just move the position or the origin of the smoke up. I'm gonna make it less too. I need to make it feel more floaty, like it's floating down, not like being pulled down by some force. So that actually seems a lot better. Yeah, that seems a lot more floaty to me. I also need to have some delay, like you can't machine gun these smokes, right? So those are just things I need to work on. But yeah, dude, coming together. Alright. I'm probably gonna end the stream now. Well, I am ending the stream, so Lamb Moore, thank you for coming in and talking to me again. I haven't seen you in so long. But I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. And I need to work on the next YouTube tutorial episode for my tutorial series, so yeah. Anyways, good night, man. Hopefully you'll hop into the stream again more. So it was good seeing you again or talking to you again. So anyways, Good night. Good night. Good night. Yeah, no, dude. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.